Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is August the 18th, 2022. Only 2 more weeks till September and we start feeling like fall, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little later. I would like to encourage all of you, if you have not already, to please subscribe. And when you do, hit that little bell and click on all so that you get notifications of all my videos. And I also appreciate every thumbs up and definitely every comment that I get. I do respond to every single comment and I do appreciate all of them. So I'm going to start as usual with what I am wearing. It is still summer, so what I am wearing in jewelry. And this time, again, like last week, it is a piece that does not have what is called dichroic glass in it. And I will explain that in the jewelry show, which is just 2 weeks away. So this was a piece of glass that had a very nice pattern of purples and teal swirling all around it. I cut out just a section of purple, put some clear glass on it, and fired it and made a very nice piece. You can't see, but I am wearing leggings with purple in it today. And I was fortunate enough to actually get a pair of earrings to match. This is the best match you'll ever get. Same glass, but of course didn't get that stunning piece of purple in the middle of it, but that's okay. So that's what I'm wearing in jewelry. I've had lots of comments about my jewelry, and I did put a piece of jewelry in the mystery boxes that people got, and they seem to appreciate that. So the next thing that I normally do is, what is Hope wearing? Well, what Hope is wearing, I'll show you in a minute, is something I made a while ago. So I want to do something I currently made. So I'm going to my other mannequin, and I had a suggestion that I call her Faith. And I rather like that suggestion, so I think we're going to go with it. This is Faith. You see, she has some braiding here at her neck that Hope doesn't have. And she is wearing the finished object, finally, that I've been showing you for the last few weeks. The cocoon cardigan I made. This one is shorter. A lot of times I do them long enough to go right down over your backside. This one I did just straight cut off here like a cardigan would at about, almost the hip length. Once again, I did do the border going around it. It's not a big one this time. I didn't have as much yarn, and that was partly why I made it smaller, but also I made it maybe a little wider than I should have. But that's done now. And once again, it is made with mandala ombre. It's a very nice feeling, very comfortable feeling yarn, and the information on it is it's the color Joy, and it is 100% acrylic, and there are 344 yards or 315 meters in one cake. And I had don't even have it, just a very small little ball left over from three. No, I only had 2 cakes of this, I believe. No, I had 3. 3 cakes would make one of these. I wish I'd had a little bit more, but that's fine. So anyway, that is a finished object from this week. I have another finished object that I can't show you because I decided to get a little bit done ahead. And as you know, next month is the fall Yarny YouTube Hop in September, and I have to have an item that is for fall when I do that episode, and I made it this past week. So I don't feel bad that I don't have much to show you, because I did accomplish something, and that is sitting waiting for a video down the road. I will be doing a sneak peek at the yarn I used, maybe next week, but probably the following week. Then I'm going to go to what is Hope wearing. So here's Hope, and she's wearing a scarf. It could be worn in several ways. It is a very open mesh. It's all chains, nothing but chains. It's a decent length, and as you know, my favorite color. And that's all it is. It's just chains going back and forth. And you can wear it several ways. I just happened this time to put it on with a loop that we can hang down. Now, I don't have this color anymore, but this is made with yarn from Expression Fiber Arts. This is a different color, obviously, but this is pearlescent worsted. It doesn't say it on there, I guess. There's the specs on the back. Pearlescent worsted. It is 50% merino yarn and 50% mulberry silk. The fingering weight is one of my favorite yarns, and this particular skein has 200 meters or 220 yards. So I made this scarf, bring her back. I made this scarf with one skein of this yarn. Very nice to work with, very silky feeling. And the other thing I like about pearlescent, whether it be worsted or fingering, when you block it to open up your stitches, it really blocks well. It opens up and makes your project bigger. So that is a really good thing about pearlescent. So this is, I just got this. This is called December Holly. I have 2 skeins of this, so I'm going to make something a little bigger, maybe a shawl for Christmas in it. A shawl or a wrap, we'll see. Anyway, I love pearlescent yarn. So that's something I made a little while back. Now, I'm going to show you one other thing that is a finished product, a finished object that I made quite a while ago, but you're going to be a little surprised at this item. But I have a reason for showing you, because I want to talk about something else today. And here is an item I made back in the early to mid 70s. A big, now this is half, it's folded in half. So this is more than 3 feet long. So we're talking 6.5, maybe 7 feet in length. And I made it. Yeah, I know you're going to say you don't like yellow, Judy. Actually, it's gold. But these were my school colors when I was in university. And I was making it about that time. Now, look closely at it, everyone. And what can you tell me? Yes, it's a basket weave. Basket weave in knitting. And you're going to say, but Judy, you said you don't knit. And I don't. And I'm going to explain why I don't knit anymore. I only made this and one other scarf for a friend at the time. And I think I tried once to knit something else, a sweater, and I said, to heck with this. This is 50 years old almost, but I still wear it because of the length and the size of it. I can wrap it around my neck and over my head and around my neck some more and put it down the front. And I will put this on with what I call like a ski jacket, and keeps me very warm to go out and shovel the drive. I don't shovel the drive anymore. We don't get that much snow, and I have a neighbor who very nicely comes over with his power thing, and in no time has it done because I have a big double wide drive. So let's talk about me and knitting. In the days when I was first knitting, and my mother knit, she knit a fair bit, and you knit with needles that looked like this. This is not a knitting needle, but it'll suffice because I have no knitting needles in the house. But knitting needles were like this long. This happens to have a hook on the end for Tunisian crochet, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But knitting needles came like this long. And I could not get the hang of knitting like this. They say there are two methods, and I forget which one is which, but I knit by putting the needles under my arms, and then I knit here. It was up close where I could see it. My arms held them steady, and I could knit. Well, I don't know how many knitters out there have actually knit this way, but you'll know, if you do, that it gets sore under the armpit. Very sore. And of course, it's a little bit close. My other problem was, besides knitting this way, which was not really very comfortable, was I had a tendency to drop stitches, and no way did I know how to get them back up. Now, you know, in crochet, you drop the one loop, you pull it back and get the loop of the stitch before, and away you go. But if you drop a stitch in knitting, whoosh, down it goes all the way. I have no way of knowing how to pick it up, and I was always dropping them. But more so than ever, because I was very careful with that scarf, you know, I held the points close, but I had very sore arms, and this is a little bit close to be looking at. So after that, I gave up knitting. I wanted no part of it. Now, it is crossing my mind that today most people now knit with circular needles, and maybe with a little circular needle I might be able to hold it out here and knit. One day, maybe I'll give it a try. But this is why I gave up knitting. Just wasn't comfortable. I do know the basics. Obviously, that was knit and purl, and I know to yarn over and that kind of thing. But I've never had a desire to knit after my experience with that. Now, I had this because many years ago, I thought I want to do some Tunisian crochet. And in my mind, I wanted to make the panels that you put together that are just straight Tunisian stitch back and forth, because they made a perfect square in your work. And I was a cross stitcher, as you know, and I'd seen some lovely examples of putting the panels together and then cross stitching something on it with those perfect X's. And in fact, I knew a lady that had an Afghan made that way, and she had maybe 6 or 8 beautiful birds, like a bluebird, a robin, not a bluebird, a jay, blue jay, a robin, a cardinal, chickadee, that kind of thing, cross-stitched. And I really wanted one of those. Never got it done, accomplished. And I did buy, in recent years, a set of Tunisian hooks. This is a set. It wasn't very expensive. Got it off of eBay. Has all the sizes of Tunisian hooks. And I thought, oh, this is great. And I'll even get some of the ones with the cords for bigger items, because you can only make, you know, something that's about 12 inches wide, then you run into problems. So this is what I did, thinking, oh, I'm going to learn to Tunisian crochet. And I did a few stitches and I didn't have too much problem with them. But I meant to do a sample. I don't have enough yarn here to do it. But as you know, there are two ways to hold a hook. You could be a knife grip person, or you could be a pencil grip person. Well, the knife grip works fine with Tunisian, all right? They can hold it like this. But when you are like me and you're a pencil grip person, you have all this yarn hanging down from this needle, and either you're holding it way out here to do your stitching, which you have absolutely no control. So to have the control, you have to hold it up here. Well, how do you hold it up here when you have all this knitting hanging down, or not knitting, this crocheting hanging down from the needle? It can't be done. I've tried it. I watched a video that showed Toni Lipsy. She's very, very big in Tunisian crochet, and I think she has some pattern books out and everything. And I tried some of the stitches, and I could do the stitches if I did a little sample like this. But as soon as it gets wider, I either am out here with no control, or you can't hold it up here when you've got all this work on your needle. So Tunisian crochet is not for the pencil grip holder, and that disappointed me very much. So those are two things about me and knitting and crocheting that you now know. I have a set of these needles, and I'm going to be giving them away during my month of giveaways. So if you are a Tunisian crocheter and would like to get a set of needles, be watching during that month. So that's my story, my foray into Tunisian crochet and knitting. Like I said, watch me long enough, maybe one day I'll be enticed by a certain pattern to get back into knitting, but it isn't going to happen right now. So let's talk a little yarn. Hang on to it for just a second. So again, I've received yarn in the mail, and I won't be showing you all of the yarn I've received. But the first thing I want to show you, which I'm not sure if I ever showed you this yarn or not before, but this past summer, I would say, maybe it started in the spring, EFA, Expressions Fiber Arts, has had to me a new yarn called Moon Gleam Fingering, and there are the specs. You can see the name of this one, and it is 50% cotton and 50% mulberry silk. Now at first I was not really interested in it, so I really didn't order it. 400 meters, 437 yards, and there's the hook sizes, because I'm not a big cotton fan. I have some Pima cotton from Lion Brand, and it's okay. I will make a top in it, but you know, it's just okay. But I finally decided I should get some just to see, to add to my EFA collection and be able to tell you about it, because I have told you about all of the other yarns they have, or almost all. So I got some of this. Well, this is so soft. I would not have told you it was cotton. I would not. It's very soft. Of course, the mulberry silk gives it a bit of a sheen. I don't know if the sheen comes across on the camera, but it is quite soft. And so I made a sizable order this summer and got a variety of colors, There's this pinky one. This one is a little more purple when you see them together. This one is called Musing. And I have some others. I'm not showing them all. I have not yet stitched with it, so I can't tell you about it. But it is a fingering weight in a size that I'm happy with. It is plied. Not always my favorite thing. There it is. You can see the ply in it. But it doesn't look like it will... I often find that they split. This feels tight enough that it's not going to split. I also have this green lichen. And of course, my favorite one, I'm going to get another skein, so I have two Oratio. And this is a mixture of sort of charcoal, white, light gray, and purples. See all the colors in that. This is heavenly soft, and I'm looking forward to finding a pattern and making something out of this real soon. So, I don't know how much longer they'll carry it into the fall because it is cotton. Now, starting Friday, they're going to have an alpaca bamboo. They're coming out with a line of that, so I can hardly wait to get some and try it. Okay, another yarn that I got this week, and this is from Polka Dot. I'll show you their information. Polka Dot Creek.com. I think it says polka dot creek yarn.com. They are, I'm pretty sure they're on Etsy. If they're on Etsy, I'll link there. If not, I'll just link to their site. And if you remember last week, I told you that I got a couple from out west, and this was one. The other one was from Calgary last week. This one is from Airdrie, again in Calgary. So I got 3 different packages. The first is this one, and again, this is superwash merino and 25% nylon. 100 grams, 463 yards, a little more than most, and it's 4-ply, and it comes with a full skein and 2 matching mini skeins, and I'm pretty sure, well, it calls it classic sock set. Well, you know, I'm highly unlikely to make any socks. This, by the way, feels average, not as nice as the super ones I talked about last week. And I'll make something with the single skein, and if it requires some striping, I'll use these, but I may just toss them in my box of mini skeins, and someday I'm going to make something with all those minis. Well, I could make more than one something with all the minis, but this feels nice, but not super soft. The second one I got is, the color of that one, by the way, is sea glass. The second one, again, it's a sock set, is called Woodsy. And they have names for these two, but I won't bother. Same specs. I didn't just buy brown, has some purple in it. And the third one I bought is this one, and it's called Mistletoe. And you can see it has the burgundy in it. That's why she paired it with burgundy, and some greens. I've really been drawn to greens lately. And without my realizing it, if you look at all 3 of these, one of the minis is the green that is called forest green. So I have 3 of these. I might be able to put them all together with a couple of other colors and make something with them. I think there's, it says 20 grams, so that's a fifth of the other, which would be 90 times 3, 370. I could make a cowl out of it at least. So that's some yarn I got this week. I'm not going to show any other yarn because I have some other things yet I want to show you. It's going to take a little bit of time. The first thing I wanted to spend some time showing you was my Facebook page. For the very first time, I actually had somebody in the US order something from my Facebook page. And in fact, she reordered and is getting another item. So I wanted to show you, if you go to Judy's Creations and if you search for it, there'll be two. But I think you'll recognize my emblem because it has my Canadian maple leaf in it. It has this symbol in with my name, so you'll be able to pick it out. So there is my Facebook page. And most people, all they do is just scroll down. And scrolling down is not the way to go on my Facebook page if you want to see anything. I'm trying to keep it where I don't have those lights glaring. So what you need to do, there are two things. One I can tell you about is to go to where it says photos. I think it says photos right there. So if you click on that, I better do it looking at it. You click on photos. It goes to this page. At the top, you'll see these, and then you'll see a whole lot of things you can scroll down. But this is the more efficient, if you want to use that word, more efficient way to look at what I have, because these are the albums I have. So I just happened to click on one. Let's go back. Go back. You can see the various albums, but it only shows a couple. So the next thing you can do, if you don't want to look at luxury items or shawls, is to click on where it says see all. See it down there? So I'm going to click see all. So that brings up all of my albums. Shawls, ponchos, luxury items. Oh, they have to put that in because I put those pictures on. But cocoons, that's miscellaneous. There are wraps, cowls and scarves, Mobius baby blankets, hats and scarves. Some of them have more than others. My luxury line has a lot of items. Shawls have quite a few, and ponchos and cocoons. Those are the ones that I make the most of. So let's just, for example, click ponchos. And then you will see a picture of all the ponchos that I happen to have in stock at the moment. And when you click on one of the pictures, it comes up with the picture and every one of my items. Down there, I can't read it. Oh, there. It says, those stupid lights. You can see that it says $40 and it tells you the fibers it's made out of. And if I see comments, it'll have other views of the item. Now, I only needed one view of that poncho. But I'll go back to, for example, shawls. Okay, where are my shawls? Oh, up here, very first one. So if you go, the most recent ones are near the bottom. But if you pick a shawl like this one, you'll notice that it says there, see comments. It tells you the price, tells you what it's made out of. This is made out of shawl in the ball. If you go to the comments, then it has other pictures showing the back and so on. And that's a way to see any of the items that are in my Facebook business page. I'm hoping that, say you like to make hats and scarves and amigurumi and small things like that, but don't like to make a big poncho or a big shawl. and you might like to have one. You could go to my Facebook business page and find them. Or maybe you could share this with other non-crochet friends, because I'm hoping to use this business page in order to sell my items, because craft shows are just not, I can't find what works for me, because I can't do outdoor ones. There are hardly any indoor ones, and most of them are a combination of craft and direct sales, and or they're too far away. I have an overnight stay to pay for. So that was one thing I wanted to show you online, was my Facebook page. Also, on my Facebook page, you can post as well. So if you finish an item I talk about, or some of my followers received the mystery boxes and they posted, and maybe they'll chime in down below to tell me how, because I don't know. I can't do it from my own iPad because I'm on as me. So I can't post in the community. But they posted in the community to show the mystery boxes they received, two of the people, and one of them also showed the item she won way back. So there are ways for my followers to post. I tried to, but it doesn't work the same for me as it would for you. So if one of these two people that has posted would like to add something to the comments, please feel free to do so other people can post here as well. I'd love to see finished items as you do them. Okay, so that is some of the things I wanted to talk to you about. So what am I working on? Well, I know I didn't finish a lot. I did finish two things though. I did finish this, which only took me a day or two. I did finish the item for fall, and I am working. I pulled this out. I think I pulled it out Monday night, and I am back working. I told you I would finish this. I am back working on the top that I pulled out, and I did. I pulled it out, and just let me tell you about the yarn first. It is Angora, Lamia Angora, and I got this from Hobium, and it is 15% Angora, 35% viscose, and 50% polyamide. So it is quite soft. It is a number 4, so it's going to be warm, but I think I have enough for sleeves. I pulled it all back to the yoke where you make the sleeves. I added one more row going around before I joined it, and I also took out the chain under the arm. I had chained it, I don't know, 5 or 6. I took that out because it was too big. I tried this on several times last night. I had to move the my little stitch markers a couple of times to get the right place to make the sleeves. And you're looking at the back. I don't think you can see, you know how when you're going in the round, people complain about the seam. I don't think you can see that seam that much. And I have it this far down. And I tried it on last night. I've only added 1 or 2 rows this morning, but I tried it on last night, and I am quite happy with how it's going to fit. I will admit that it has a little too much in the back for what I need to go around. It's loose in the back. I might, when I get further down, I might do a couple of decreases. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to finish that body tonight, and then I'm sure I have enough to go back and put some on the sleeves. How much of a sleeve, I don't know, and I don't care. If it's a short sleeve like this is fine, or if I can, I hope I get 3/4. My favorite sleeve length is a 3/4 sleeve. And by the way, I am using my trusty furls, and this is, I think it's a 4 millimeter. The reason, I know this could use a bigger hook, but I wanted to make sure the stitches were nice and close. I don't want to have to wear something under it. I want to be able to wear it just by itself. And I think that's going to be perfect. It has 2 rows of open stitches. That's it. And I'm almost sure that when I'm done, I'm going to go back and put a little bit around the neck, just because the neck stretched after I did it and it's a little wider. It shows my straps and I don't like that. So I will be finishing this up this week. In fact, I hope I finish it in the next 2 days. And then I may very well, I did start another project and I worked on it for 2 days, and it was using alpaca silk lace, which I told you way back when I did the review that I didn't like it. I don't know why I pulled it out, and it frustrated me so much I just ditched it. But I did start with this yarn, and I like it, and it's pretty. And this is a yarn I showed you a few weeks back, and I'm thinking I'm going to find a pattern to use this. So I'll be talking about this next week. Maybe I'll have a finished object in this yarn for you to see next week. But I definitely will have my sweater finished and another object at least. Kind of slow going right now, but I'll make it up in the fall. So anyway, that's it for this week. I want to remind you that I am still collecting pictures of things you've made, anything not crochet. I now have 3 people that have sent me pictures, so I'd really appreciate if I could get maybe 3 more people. You only have a little more than 2 weeks to get the picture to me, so please give me some pictures of items you have made that are not crochet and send them along. That will make for a much more interesting podcast when that week gets here. And next week, I'm going to really focus on what's happening in September. So until we get together again, happy hooking.